Imagine for a moment you're in the desert of New Mexico. You stumble on an arroyo or washed out gully with large bones sticking out of the side due to last night's rain erosion. But these bones are larger than you've ever seen. Upon returning home, you tell many people. You even take samples and send them to experts. But no one cares about your discovery. That is, until after your death. This is how George McJunkin felt in 1908. Today you'll hear about the history-changing Folsom Point discovery. First, I'll talk about how the Folsom Points were discovered. Secondly, I will explain what is unique about these stone points. And lastly, I will tell you why they are a history-changing discovery. Let's get into the details of the fascinating Folsom Point. Firstly, let's talk about the discovery. George McJunkin discovered these stone points. He was an African-American ranch manager in New Mexico. He grew up as a slave and after being freed, moved to New Mexico. According to Nash 2022, on August 27, 1908, an unruly storm pummeled the town of Folsom, New Mexico with 13 inches of rain. After this storm, McJunkin went out to check the fences to make sure they were all good. He stumbled upon a washed-out arroyo with many bones exposed now due to the rain on the side of this arroyo. Big bones, too. He had seen many cows and horses and bison in his life, and he knew that these bones were a lot larger than those. He considered himself an amateur archaeologist, so he dug up a bit, found some bones and a Folsom Point, and he took them home. He showed his friends, he told lots of people, and he even did this. To paraphrase Morrow, 2019, McJunkin even went as far as to send samples to the Denver Museum of Natural History, but they didn't care to come to the site until 1925, 3 years after his death. Unknown to McJunkin, these bones belonged to those of bison antiquus. These are a larger species of bison than the one we know today. He found other artifacts, like these stone points. These uniquely fluted stone points is what they were, not just any stone points, and they became known as Folsom Points due to the town of Folsom being the nearest town. Secondly, let's talk about the uniqueness of these Folsom Points. I have an image here that shows these Folsom Points, and as you can see, they're kind of concave on either side. That's what fluting a stone point is, having this concaveness running the length of the point on either side. The reasons for fluting were highly debated at the time of the discovery, but thanks to Aller and Gieb, 2000, we can safely assume that these points were fluted for the purpose of more contact with an arrow or spear shaft than other stone points. As you can imagine, the fluting was made so that the shaft of the spear could run higher up on the point, so that there was less of a chance of the point cracking when it entered an animal. But fluting is a very difficult thing. That's another unique thing, is that modern stone point makers say that there was a very high failure rate for sure in making these, because fluting often just breaks the whole thing in half. And these fluted Folsom points were made only for a very short period of time. And we don't know why that is, but that's unique to these points and not any other stone points. Lastly, let's talk about why this was a history-changing discovery. Previously, life in North America was thought to have arrived 3,000 years ago. Klingemann 2023 says that originally the Folsom discovery pushed that idea 10,000 years back, but it was not accepted as true by most historians of that day, as they just couldn't believe it, and they wanted more evidence. But recent carbon dating proves that they were wrong. These stone points were made 12,200 to 12,600 years ago. And of course now we know that these aren't the oldest stone points, as there's more evidence that pushes these dates even farther back that there were humans in North America. In closing, the unusual discovery of the Folsom Point played a crucial role in mapping out the history of this continent. The Folsom Point's unique shape made it an outlier of past technologies. So whether it be this stone, Mr. McJunkin, or the Paleo Indians 12,000 years ago, it is important to remember the people and technologies that came before us.